update on Micah Hyde?
Yeah, he's going to be day-to-day. He's got some soreness on his hip there where he fell, or where he came down on it. So, but we think he'll be okay at this point.
First day in class, Coach. How excited are you, and what are some of the things you're going to observe today that you didn't do all week?
Well, it's a long time. It's been a long time. I feel like coming about a week into camp now, and it's good to be in pads. I know it's some guys like it, some guys hate it. It's always a little uncomfortable, wearing those pads that we don't walk around in every day. But it'll be good to get acclimated today and then give the guys a day off tomorrow because they'll be sore. So just fundamentally looking to carry over our fundamentals from when we were out of pads, now into pads, and develop some of our identity as well at the line of scrimmage in particular.
Hey Sean, just to get an update on some of the guys who've been missing time. I think there's Bates, Daquan Jones, Crowder, and Kumara. What's the status with those guys?
All day to day, all dealing with overall soreness that comes through camp and some muscle tightness. All of them have different locations, of course, but they're all day to day.
Is there any concern because he's a veteran, but to miss a lot of days at the start of camp, is there any concern that he hasn't been able to get out there for a few days of camp yet?
Yeah, I'm always concerned anytime a guy misses. It's missed reps, and in this case, availability and unavailability creates a challenge in terms of for a new player developing a rapport. In this case with Josh, mentally he's very strong, so I'm not as concerned about that piece in terms of assignment, but it's just more of the rapport, and then building. All these players who are unavailable right now, we've got a few of them into being game ready. So I think that's also a goal of ours here.
Where's Spencer Brown in his health? We've seen him out there, but not really participating in the team work.
Yeah, he's working, continues to work himself back. That's taking some time, and we're just going to continue to take it one day at a time and go on the schedule that the trainers and Spencer have communicated about, and hopefully get him back as we go here in the very near future, where he's out there in team drills.
I know you said, I think day one, that he's not really behind, but now that we're a full week into camp, we've seen a lot of movement, a lot of guys out there at the tackle spots. Is that starting to change a little bit, that there's a little more urgency that he needs to get out there to try to keep that job?
Yeah, well, jobs are earned through reps, right? And all jobs when you come to camp are earned, whether it's that particular position or any other position for that matter. Obviously, there's some players who have a little bit of a incumbent hold on those positions, but at the same time, all positions are earned. So in this case, Spencer's missed quite a bit of time, and we look forward to getting him back as soon as we can here.
Is Deion going to be in practice today, Coach?
No. So he's dealing with some personal things that he's handling, and we hope to get him back here in a few days.
Sean, there was the play when Micah got nicked up, and then there was another play where Josh may have got caught up in a play. Is there a balance between what you want, and is there messaging to the players, especially maybe on a day like today when the pads are on and all that kind of thing, between competing and being smart?
Definitely. It's hard to find that balance. We try and over-communicate on the front end of it, Mike, with, hey, these are the rules of engagement. When we're not in pads, when we're in pads, there's always an adjustment, though. Try and show examples of what happens in practice and how we have to adjust. And in order to be able to practice and stay fresh, we've got to be able to be in pads, but we also have to be able to practice not in pads. We're going to work hard, but we also want a fresh football team as well. So that's part of my job during the practice, quite honestly, is not watching as much as trying to protect our quarterback back there. And I get it, the defensive line, the defense overall, we want them aggressive, but there is a fine line there.
How closely do you watch rookies on the first day when they put the pads on, kind of just to see exactly what they're made of?
Yeah, I think you start to see this is another step or chapter, if you will, where what happened in the spring and what happened through the first week of training camp was not really football. And then this is another step, and we're putting the pads on. This is when the physical part factors in, and see who can integrate that into their game, who naturally has that, and then who is kind of maybe sitting on the fence a little bit, and they start to gravitate towards how we like to play, and then the game is a whole nother level, right, of who can do it in the game as well. And so we're moving towards that point, obviously, today, and then in the next few days here in that red and blue scrimmage.
You still get a little more spark for a day like today.
I didn't sleep well last night. I woke up. It's one of those things. I know we've all been there. It's like, why didn't I sleep well? And I think it's, since the time I've been 7 years old, this is pads and this is football, and it's always been like that. And so I know I'm not playing, but I think that's what it is. It's just in your bones,
Sean, kind of along those lines with the rookies, Kaiir and Stefon have had some battles, I guess you'll say, through the first week, and that's kind of become almost appointment viewing. People are looking forward to it. From Kaiir's perspective, how valuable is it to go up against a guy like that, and what do you think he's getting out of that matchup right now?
Yeah, that's. He's learning every day. He's adding notes to his notebook, and had a couple good battles yesterday where the ball was thrown into a contested ball situation, and I think Steph won a couple of them, and Kaiir won a few as well. So the thing I appreciated about, Steph is very competitive, but he then takes time to teach Kaiir off the field as well, which I think is tremendous.
Sean, were there any new injuries that popped up yesterday that we haven't seen?
No, I believe it's just the Micah injury, yeah.
Sean, I know it's early, and you have a lot of pieces on that offense that are very familiar with what they're supposed to do, but with so many offensive linemen that are down, how much of a hindrance is that for trying to build an offense at this point in camp?
Well, it gives the guys, those guys that are playing right now, an opportunity to show us what they've got. Bless you. And I think that's important. That's what we can focus on. That's the part we can control right now. And like I said, it's availability is key in terms of helping our football team. And right now, those players that are in there are getting a lot of reps, and I think that'll help them moving forward.
John, it looks like you guys have developed a good bit of running back depth. How do you want to see that playing out benefiting the team?
Yeah, I've been impressed to this point, Jeremy, with what I've seen. The running, whether it's even yesterday, Tywan Jones made a great run and a great cut. Not his key role, not his primary role on our team, but great to see an older player step in and have success like that and be ready to go. And but I think all the backs we have, whether it's Motor and Zach, and then you look at Duke and the two young guys, I think they're all playing well and hitting the holes and making good cuts, and not just the run game, but the protection game as well in the pass game.
Going back to what you said about when you're younger and pads and all that, but the game has also evolved a lot. Like the first name pads, I don't think you're out there doing Oklahomas necessarily, right? I mean, what is the trade-off and the balance of trying to evaluate, because the rules have changed, but also what we know about football and what you have to do?
Yeah, I think you just got to do it the right way. And I'm not saying we're perfect in what we do, but we've always tried to acclimate our players through a ramp-up period, whether governed by the NFL in that regard or not, and try and do it right by our players and keeping them healthy. And the same goes here. Again, we try and do our best to teach the proper fundamentals and bring them along the right way. We're not going to go out there today and go live for 5 periods. We're going to be thud most of the day and a little bit of tag off tempo also, just to, again, build it the right way and lay a good foundation here.
Any update on Trey's progress as he continues to rehab?
Yeah, just the same as before, really. He's working hard, and we'll see when he gets back.
What have you seen from Khalil so far, like since rookie minicamp, maybe?
I think he continues to evolve and grow. He's a very focused young man, and comes from a great family and support system, and he's very hungry to learn every day, and he takes that growth mindset, as I mentioned earlier, in the confrontations he has in the contested situations with Steph or Gabe for that matter. He's just hungry to learn, and I think that's a great quality for a young player, especially for a player that was drafted in the first round, to come in and understand he doesn't know it all, but he'll continue to grow, and he's going to make mistakes, and he has to embrace those failures.
Sorry, I meant about Khalil Shakir. I don't think I said it loud enough.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Khalil. I think he's off to a good start as well. Being a skilled player, you've got to block in the run game. Those are some of the things that don't get talked about a lot or focused on. He does those, but at the end of the day, you're evaluated for making plays, and there's 3 or 4 guys that have made a ton of plays so far in camp, and he's one of them.
Coach, Terry Johnson, A guy that you took out of Weber State, what did you see in him during that time that you knew that you could enhance down the line?
Yeah, listen, he's a pit bull. I mean, he's not the biggest, but he's mentally and physically tough, and he loves the confrontation. You see him out there; he plays with a tremendous amount of passion and energy, and I think he brings a lot to our defense.
Is Isaiah one of those other 3 to 4?
Isaiah, which one?
McKenzie.
Yes, yeah, he's made plays. He's showed up as well. So, at the end of the day, you got to make plays, right? The ball's thrown to you. You got to catch the football, whether it's in open space or in a contested situation.